Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Let me turn this up so I can hear myself a little better. Hi, welcome to Audrey Christine. I'm your host of this broadcast. I'm Audrey. Hello. Excuse me. Pardon me. Um, you guys are probably from my other channel, The Salty Psychic. And, this channel is specifically not about crime or any of that stuff like it is on the other channel. However, um I want to talk about something that I experience as a psychic because I need you to understand it to help you get through this life and to get some comfort, hopefully, and have the knowledge of what's real. And I'm talking about losing a pet, and it goes so much beyond that. So that's what we're going to talk about during this broadcast. Before we get started, though, welcome everyone. It's a new channel. I love this channel because um, w- we we're going to talk about everything, anything. I don't care. The other channel, like I mentioned, is for crime, true crime. This one is everything but true crime. And if you watched my video or maybe you saw that we did a live video on making your own passport. No, this is not to fake your way to another country. This is my way. This is my idea to help you again live your best life, make a move by making a choice and decision to live your life the way you want and deserve. And this is something I keep right on my desk, and this is my new one. I don't make them every year, but I thought, well, January is a good time to make a new one. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. Those are going to let you down. This is going to show you what's in your future. It just works. And we'll do another probably live show so I can answer questions directly. Um, I've gotten a couple of messages regarding questions, and they're great, great questions, and I want to address them. So we'll talk more about that in an upcoming, probably live show. So I wrote a book, and it's almost ready to publish. I just sent them my final illustrations. It's about a dog and a man. It's about loss. It's about a man losing a family member and gaining a dog as kind of therapeutic, and then end up losing the dog many years later. And what does that feel like? What happens? What do you do now? So today's story is about my son's dog, Patches. And I'm going to give you the background of my relationship with Patches so you can say, okay, she gets it. She was in love with that dog, and she understands my pain too, because I want you to understand that I do understand your pain. And um we had to put her down yesterday. Awful. Awful. But I have something amazing to tell you. So amazing, and I'm so happy, and I'm so relieved, and I can take a breath, and I know we did the right thing yesterday. I know it. So Patches was 14, almost 15. She's was an Australian shepherd. She was red, not a blue heeler, but a red heeler. Very smart little girl. She weighed about 65 pounds most of her life. Really good temperament, very protective, very, very protective of, uh, all any of our family, and including Jonathan. She loved Johnny. She loved laying by Jonathan, my disabled son, to protect him. She was Benjamin's dog, my son Benjamin. It was she was his dog. but we all knew her. All of Ben's friends knew her, and, she did live with Benjamin and my ex-husband in Santa Cruz, which was a really bad situation, physical violence in that house and just really dysfunctional and addictions going on over there. Um, but there was nothing I could do about it. I couldn't just take the dog from him. But anyway, fast forward 11 years, 12 years, COVID happens. My daughter and her then partner decide to buy a house in Vermont. That in itself killed me. I did not know how I was going to survive without my daughter physically close by. I literally did not. And I know it may seem extreme. It may seem like I'm just blowing things out of proportion. My kids are my life. The people I love, I want to be with them. I want to be close to them. And I do have 3 kids. And so I was literally having chest pains when leading up to Sarah leaving. Well, about 5 days before Sarah actually left, she came over to where I was living, and, Benjamin lived with me then, and the dog, of course, and the dog was the dog slept with me in the house in my bedroom. Sarah comes over and, we're talking and stuff, and Sarah kinda lets it slip that Benjamin's going with them to Vermont. Not happy. I got up, I had to excuse myself, and I went and had a little mini breakdown for about 10 minutes, and then I came back and I let the 2 of them know that this is not fair, this is not how you are supposed to do this. I'm your mother, you shouldn't just throw these things on me, you don't understand what this does to me as a mother. I was feeling, and this was my first year of menopause, I was feeling I couldn't go on. And then I said, "Well, at least I get the dog, at least I can have the dog because she sleeps with me, and she's my comfort." And she had only been living Ben and her had only been living with me for about a year, but I very quickly became connected, in such a way, that I depended on her presence. I depended on her being around me. Whenever I needed her. Well, she would follow me anyway. She would follow me around and just, be my sidekick, my shadow. I'd take her places in the car, just what things you do when you have a dog. And Sarah and Benjamin are like, no, we're taking the dog. Well, that upset me even almost more than when they told me Benjamin was going to Vermont. I lost it again. I'm just so angry. I'm so hurt. And it's not she wasn't my dog per se, but I loved her. She's a soul, and I'm psychic. So, I get really connected to souls, people's souls. Um and animals. It's the same soul. People, animal, it's the same. Okay? It's the same. Oh god, devastation. This really kicked off my depression. This is when I gained 50 pounds, and none of my friends were around available for me. So, I dealt with that the best I could. It was awful. I feel like I'm still dealing with it even though Benjamin's here now. I feel like I'm still trying to get through it. I don't like change. I do not like changes. So, when Benjamin left for Vermont, he didn't know if he wanted to go, and I just said, "Look, my home is your home. Wherever I am living, you can come live with me. I don't care. I don't need a reason. You and the pup can always come home." And my husband and I did end up buying a large home in Vermont, and it was so nice being around the kids, Sarah and Benjamin. but I wasn't gonna be able to bring Johnny. It's not a state that provides the right health care for what Jonathan needs. It's not gonna work. I hate the snow, come to find out. I hate being cold. I don't wanna be around knee deep in snow, and snow shoveling. It's just not my I'm a California girl. I'm not made to live this life where it's snowy like half the year. It's too much for me. Now, I will say this though, if someone said, "Hey, I'll give you a house in England." Oh, I'm there. I don't care. That's a different story. That's a completely different world, different life. So sometimes, yes, I can handle snow if it's in places like France and England. Okay, I'm honest. I'm honest with you guys. But I couldn't live in Vermont. I liked Vermont a lot. It was beautiful. I liked New Hampshire. We were kind of on the border. We were about 20 miles away from New Hampshire, West Lebanon. Loved that area too. So Chase and I made the difficult decision to sell that house and stay in California, which I had been going back and forth, but I did get to spend a lot of time with Patchy in Vermont. So now we'll fast forward again to 2023. Got a few phone calls from Benjamin. Um, and in November 2023, um, pardon me, it's my throat. Um, Ben really made the decision, and we support him in the decision that he wants to come home to California. He misses his friends from Santa Cruz, and he misses the life. It's fair. I don't need an explanation. You don't need to, justify it to me. And there were some other reasons too, which I don't need to get into any of those, with my daughter and her ex-partner and all that. Um, my daughter is getting married though this year to someone different than the person she left to Vermont with. So Chase and I are like, it's time. It's time. We knew this time might come where we need to go get Benjamin and Patches. So the, Patches was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. Kind of inoperable, kind of. I mean, you could operate, but it just wasn't gonna do anything. It wasn't gonna save her life, why put her through that? And that was Ben's choice, when that all was going on. So we knew she was ill. So we discovered we would not be able to put Patches in the car. I mean, on an airplane to go from East Coast to West Coast. We're like, shit, we're gonna have to drive. We're gonna have to drive from Vermont back home to California. And, we didn't think about it. You just do it. You know what needs to be done, you do it. So Chase booked the airline. We had Johnny go stay with his biological father. And we flew out to Burlington, uh, drove we rented a car. We drove straight to my daughter's house just to say hi. It was like 2 in the morning. We slept for about 3 or 4 hours, and then we said goodbye to them, and we drove over to where Ben was staying. And I have to say, when we pulled up, to the house and I saw Patches, it really made me gasp. It really took my breath away, the condition she was in. She could barely walk. She was so, so, so skinny. And she just looked like death. And Chase and I said the same thing. Is she even gonna make it? Is she gonna make it to California? Oh my God. Plus dealing with Benjamin and packing him up. We just packed whatever we could fit into the little SUV, um, literally every nook and cranny, um, into that car. And we left. We left. Goodbye. And we left. We hit the road. And we would have to make stops often for the dog to go potty. And I kept looking in the back seat, holding my breath, thinking, "Oh God, please don't let her die. on the way home. Um, she was not herself. She wasn't barking. She wasn't wagging her little nubby tail. She wasn't smiling. You know how dogs can smile. It was awful. It was bad. And it was difficult. It was a difficult ride home. Let me just say that. It was hard being on the road for 45 hours, 3,200 miles. We drove 24, 48 hours straight. And then we did end up staying in this Schitt's Creek motel in Kansas for literally about 3 hours. So we could close our eyes for 3 hours. And it was so disgusting. We're like, let's just leave. We got to just leave this. Ugh, this place. Yikes. So we got back in the car and we finished our journey home. And we got home here and the cats were here. They're upset. The cats were upset, especially Latte. He's mental already. He loves to be upset. Marshmallow's like, all right, I remember you. Okay. Um, so everyone got adjusted. The cats dealt with it. The dog didn't even ever bark the entire time she was home here. But we knew she was ill. We tried to make her comfortable. We had the dog people come over and give her a nice bath. And they gave her this little bandana. So she had this around her neck and her nails done, and she smelled great. And we just wanted her to be comfortable, and we gave her we my husband's a professional chef, award-winning chef, by the way, from Australia. But, so he was making the dog food. He was cooking for the dog daily. Um, it's like, what do we have for dinner? Should we eat the dog food? Because, I don't know. No, but, the dog was eating really well. I should say she was eating good food. She was provided some, really, really good food for a dog, and she just didn't have an appetite. So this was like, let's just say December 1st. By the time we got home, it was basically December 1st. Um, she was by my side most of the time. She would come and lay wherever I was at. She would lay, just right out off to the side of my chair. And it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. And knowing there's nothing you can do but make her comfortable. And today's what, the 23rd, 24th? I'm not sure. 24th. So she went to heaven yesterday, the 23rd. And, she was having some very loose bowels, very loose bladder. And we have a carpet cleaner and we just dealt with it, and we dealt with it the best we could with puppy pads and diapers and cleaning the carpet with the machine, sometimes twice a day. Um, Accidents happen. It's not her fault. We're not going to make her sleep outside, but a lot of times she did want to sleep outside. She wanted that alone time, which killed me even more. It's like she doesn't even want us to see her like this. So yesterday morning, Chase comes in the house. He goes, I was just out there laying with the dog in the dog house. And I said, why? Just bring her in. He goes, she can't even get up. She cannot stand. And she's covered in poop. And I run out there and I look at her. I'm trying to talk to her. And she's just like, her eyes, her big brown eyes are just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're seeing me like this. I'm sorry that this is happening. I'm sorry that you're going to have to deal with me. And Chase said, we need to do it today. We need to take her down. So I told him I'm going to call my daughter and put her on video so she can say goodbye to the dog. This was her dog too. Um, so I did that. So I had Sarah video chat with her, and my daughter's dog was there as well. Um, Sorry, I'm having a moment. My daughter's dog's like, "Hey, what's happening? Why is grandma on the phone? Why is Patches laying down?" Arwen is only 2 years old, 2.5. She's a young pup, my daughter's dog. And of course, my daughter's crying. My daughter's a dog person. My daughter got a tattoo of her dog on her forearm, and my daughter's very, very that's her child. My daughter hates children, but this is her child. This is her people or dogs and cats. But um, at this point, I was still like in denial. Like I can't deal with this right now, so I'm gonna have to place these emotions back here because I can't deal with it right here. I can't. Sorry. So I went and told Benjamin. I had talked to Benjamin the night before and just said we need to be prepared. We'll you tell me how involved you want to be, but we'll take care of everything for her. And do you want to go in with her? Do you want us to go in with you? You tell us how you want to handle it. It's your dog, but she can't be here like this anymore. She's suffering um a lot. She has cancer. It's painful. And so there's a place here, and you don't have to make an appointment. You can just take your animal down. So Chase wrapped her up in a real cozy blanket, and we put her in the car. I'll put some pictures in here. Um, Put her in. This place was not far, just about 15 minutes away. Ben sat in the back with her, and it was a quiet drive to the pet hospital, but it's a beautiful hospital, fancy, classy. That's what our dog deserved. She deserved the best, and so does your dog. And I was so relieved that this wasn't some junky, rundown vet office. So they were very, very, very caring and comforting at the hospital there. And we Chase or Ben carried her in, and we took her back to a room, and she couldn't even lift her head up. She was done. And they explained to us how this works with an IV, and when it's time, you go ahead and let us know. They basically would do whatever we wanted or needed. Um, so we took some video, we took some pictures, and we're all crying, of course. And we told them it's time. Let's go ahead and just do this because the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. And so I was kind of standing behind her around, and I had my hands kind of on her shoulder, on her neck, and on the side of her face. So I kind of had her head in my hands like this a little bit. And I kind of got her to sit up a little bit. Um, and I saw that the doctor was injecting her with something, and I was watching it go up the line, the plastic line, the tube into her, so I knew it started, and then I could slowly feel her head getting more heavy, and I'm like, "Oh my god. This is, like, surreal." I've never been around something dying, animal or person, I don't think, and, just lay her gently down slowly. Um, then I could tell her bowels were, you know, loose and done, and I knew she was gone at that point, and the doctor, got the stethoscope out and listened to her and took her pulse, and she said, "She's gone." And the doctor kind of immediately left to let us be with Patches for a little bit, and I went around the table so I could look at her face and give her kisses, and her eyes started to change really fast. Her eyes changed from her big brown eyes, what they always look like, to the emptiness. And I knew she was, she wasn't in her body. I knew that.
And as a psychic, on the way to that hospital, I was connecting with her telepathically. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I do. And I knew she was ready. I knew she was already starting to depart on the way to the hospital. She's saying, "It's okay. It is time, you know. I'm letting go. You need to let go." But she held on long enough to get Benjamin home to where he needed to be. And we all know that. In our family, we know she was protecting Benjamin and waiting for Benjamin to get settled, which I'm not going to talk about what all of that means, but Benjamin, needed to be here, and she loved Benjamin so much. So we gave her lots of kisses, lots of petting, and just love. And I told her as I kissed her head, I said, "Please come visit us, please. I know you will. I know you're gonna come back and harass the cats as they deserve to be harassed by you. Harass the cats. Come and give them a bad time. Play with their toys as a spirit." And, I said, "I'll see you soon." And then I'm like, "Oh, no. Did I just am I am I dying now? I don't know. Why am I gonna see her soon? Why did I say that? I don't I'm not gonna leave the earth anytime soon." Um, but I told her, "I know I'll see you soon. I know I'll see you. Um, I know I'm gonna hear you. I know I'm gonna hear your footsteps. I know I'm gonna hear you drinking water and eating at your bowl." So we said goodbye, and they'll let us know when her remains are ready. And they did little paw prints and stuff, so we're gonna make, like, a memory box, shadow box that you can hang on the wall with all her stuff and probably this little thing. So yesterday was hard. Yesterday was really hard, but I've always told you guys, as a psychic, I channel so many pets. When I do a reading for you, most often, I get pets all the time. It's like, "Who's this dog? Who's that cat? Did you have a snake, for God's sake?" Like, I don't know. I'm seeing a snake right now, you know? A soul is a soul is a soul. And I know that may seem weird. It's like, "Well, I my animal's not a person." Well, no, your animal's not a person, but the soul is the same kind of soul that you have. It just is. I mean, not everything has a soul, but everything has energy. So we got through yesterday and went to bed, but during the night, I got a gift. I received a gift, which makes me exhale. And what happened was during the night, I had a dream. We were back at my parents' house and the dog was there and she walked up to me. I'm like, "Patches, you're dead." You know? It's but she's like telepathically, she's like, "I know, but it's me. It's me." And she looked nice and muscly and fit, and her ears were standing up again because for a long time her ears dropped and she just didn't look like herself anymore. Um, she was a badass dog, not dangerous, but she was awesome. She looked amazing. It was just we were so proud to have her in our family. And in the dream, I'm just petting her. I'm sitting down and she's at me and she's smiling. She's smiling. And even though I'm not talking, my parents and I are estranged, right? We don't talk to each other. But my mom goes, "Who are you talking to?" And I said, "Patches, can't you see her? She's right here." I'm petting her and I'm just love, 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 love. And my mom's just looking like, "Okay, you crazy. You crazy." Which is pretty much how what my mom would say if anyone asked is, I'm crazy." Oops, sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. I was watching a murder trial, and, looks like they're back in session. Um, so I got a visit from Patches. I wasn't expecting it this quick. I don't want to hold my breath until I hear from the departed. I don't wanna force them or feel like they must come to me. But last night, I kept checking in with her to see if she's around, and I just wasn't feeling her at all. And it's like, why? Why can't I feel her? I'm a psychic. Where is she? Where is she? I need her. Well, she came. She came in my dream, and I she was happy. She's like, I'm here. Like, I'm here. Oh my God. I feel so good again. And everything's good. Thank you. And she says, thank you. And she just looked like the picture of health and happiness. And I needed that so bad. And I told Benjamin just right before I came on here, I said, I had a dream about Patches and I was telling him about it. He goes, yeah, I know you. Some people think that that's a thing. I'm like, no, it is a thing. It is a thing. Go away. Like, let me rejoice in my happiness, but he's hurting. But do all dogs go to heaven? Yeah. Yeah. I've never met I've never done a reading for someone where the dog was not on the other side. In my opinion, there's no quote heaven unquote. It's just on the other side. It's a different dimension. And I know that word dimension sounds hippy dippy. It sounds too scientific for you, but that's what it is. It's just a different dimension, a dimension that we cannot physically see with our eyes. And yes, dogs pass, they come back and visit a lot of the times, as do cats and other pets. Um, and I need you to know that you do not feel guilty. You did everything you could for your pet. You did the best you could for your pet. There's never any malice. There's never any anger by the pets on the other side when we have to put them down. Never. I've never had a pet come back and say, "Oh, that woman killed me. That woman put me down because I had this or that problem," or, whatever. It doesn't ever go like that. It doesn't, ever. And you did the right thing. And, I've talked to dogs who were put down because they bit somebody. They understand. They understand. They're like, "Yeah, I know. I bit this kid in the face. Like, ugh, that was awful. I'm so sorry about that." But and they're on the other side, but they're like, "Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. But when you get here, let's talk, kind of thing." Um, so your pets are around. We smell them. We hear their footsteps. We hear them getting into the cat's food. Now, I'm not saying this has happened for me yet, but anything is possible. You may even see your pet down the hallway. It's like, that's weird. That is weird. Sometimes they can manifest their energy into a something visual for us to see and hold on to. We need that here. It's so much harder here on earth than it is on the other side. It's not hard on the other side. It's hard here. This is the hard part. Those of us who are still here, do we want to die? No, we don't want to go anywhere. But in the meantime, I need you to know that everything is okay. Yes, we're going to cry about it. Yes, we miss them. But It's okay, and you need to continue on your life. Look at those photos of them, you know, put the sticker on the car, whatever. My dog's better than your dog or whatever. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel better. No one's going to make you feel better about the loss of your pet, except maybe my words here today can help. But when people are like, "Oh my god, it was just a dog. What is your problem?" It's not like it was your child. Oh my god, people say that all the time. That's awful. If you say that to somebody, please don't say that. Seriously, please do not say things like that to people. I've known people who had to take a week off of work when their pet died, and it's a loss. It's a loss just like losing a loved one. It is a loved one, like losing a human, a person. It's the same. And excuse me, dogs are more dependable, non-judgmental, unlike people. People let you down, people lie to you. Our pets never go against us. It's the perfect relationship to have with an animal. It does fulfill a need that we have, and as I mentioned before I got my 2 cats, my 2 boys here, I was not doing well emotionally. I needed that connection. I needed that energy that knew I could only get from a pet. And they have healing energy. They know things. They know their animals. They know how to talk. They know how to talk telepathically. They can do it. They do it. So, I just want to say I'm sorry for any losses you have had. Please still celebrate your pet's birthday. Go to the favorite park or go on the drive that the animal liked to go on. Just remember them. That's all. That's all they want for you is for you to remember them because that in itself is healing for you. And it's okay to get another dog, another cat, another bird, whatever the animal is. It's okay. It's not a replacement for the one that passed. It's not. It's to fill that void that we as human beings need to have from animals. It just is. You don't need a scientific or religious answer. I don't have any religion to offer you, but you don't need a reason to make your soul feel better. You don't need to justify that to anyone ever, ever. You don't owe that to anybody. But you do owe it to yourself for your time on this planet to live the best life you can. And if that means getting another pet, that's what you do. I give you permission to do that. Put it in your passport. If you think you need a dog or a cat or a pet, you put it in your passport. You get a photo of whatever you want and you put it in your passport and you set it down on your desk and you look at it throughout the day, make photocopies of it, put a passport in your car, put a passport in your drawer at work, and you can open your drawer all day long and look at what is coming for you. Um, you what you would write is I have the best whatever. I have the best Doberman dog or my dog loves me the most. I'm a dog mom, things like that. You put it in here and this I promise you will help your pain to be manageable. No, the pain's not going to go away, but it will change and it's manageable. So that's what I wish for you guys today. Thanks for hanging out.
if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. And like I mentioned, we're going to do another probably live show on the passports. Okay. Share your stories in the comments. Let me know about your pup, your cat, your bird, anything you would like to share. Put your stories down below. If you have any paranormal experiences with your pet, please let me know. Those are encouraging. Those are encouraging for me, for you, for the world to read your experiences. That's healing energy. Did you know you have healing energy? You do. And I hope you use it. Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share. Send this to someone who you think needs to hear this today. All right, you guys. Love you. Ciao.